we thought was going to happen. They followed almost to a T the reputational damages that E. Jean Carroll's expert had testified to. I think she was in the $16 to $17 million range. So they gave the jury a target to shoot at. And then they left it to the jury, which is what the jury is supposed to do in a punitive damage case, a case where the rape of E. Jean Carroll had already been established by a judge and a jury. And this new jury, was told that many times during the trial about the fact that that is something that they are to assume because the judge and the jury, the prior jury, had already found it. The defamation had already been found. And the only thing left for them to do was to determine whether E. Jean Carroll was entitled to more than $1 worth of damages. And if so, how much? They had two guideposts to guide them. One, they had the expert testimony of E. Jean Carroll's a professional who talked about reputational harm and damage, same expert that she used in May when she got her $5.2 million judgment, because now she's taken almost $89 million off of Donald Trump. But this one was about, as you said, Ben, as E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, Robbie Kaplan, followed by her colleague, Shane Crowley, told the jury in their double closing that you need to make Donald Trump pay and pay dearly. And then Shane Crowley in the closing saying, you saw what he's done even in the courtroom today, the disrespect he showed you, the disrespect he showed this trial process in standing up and leaving during my colleague's closing argument. Those acting out and behaviors that we all did hot takes on, I knew, because I know juries like the back of my hand, you do too from being a trial lawyer, that the jury was going to hate Donald Trump for his misbehavior during this trial and disrespecting ultimately them, because they are the most important thing in that room, not Donald Trump, not the judge, the jury. That's why we rise for the jury. And they were going to hate Donald Trump's acting out, being disrespectful to Roberta Kaplan while she was doing the closing argument, saying things out loud. Alina Habba doing things where she teetered on the verge of being taken into custody and being put in federal detention during the closing and in front of the jury. As soon as the jury got into a room and deliberated, they were the ones to come up with a number for punitive punishment type damages. And all they had, because there was no expert for Donald Trump allowed, because he screwed up his case so badly, they didn't even allow an expert to go on. That punitive damage number is based on the amount of Donald Trump's alleged worth. And I say alleged worth because in the New York Attorney General case up the street, he's both said that his statements of financial conditions were wrong, but that he was worth 3 or 4 times that amount. Well, that number they brought into this particular jury and say, great, he's worth $4 billion. Come up with a number that punishes a $4 billionaire. And now it's going to go, yes, there's going to be an appeal because there's a presidential immunity issue that's kind of lurking in the background up to the Second Circuit and maybe up to the Supremes. But he'll have to post a bond, another $83 million and a half bond with the appropriate clerk to stop the enforcement of the judgment. So he'll have to put that out of pocket and sit it in a court. And then the judge, as I said on a new hot take, judge is going to have to consider whether he's also, this is a judge issue, not a jury issue, Ben, whether the judge is going to impose a permanent injunction, a ban on Donald Trump, continuing to bash E. Jean Carroll. The money is one thing, but this judge's work is not done. They're going to ask for a permanent injunction. And if Donald Trump violates it, it's going to be contempt. And if he violates it again, it's going to be criminal contempt and fines. And he can end up in jail one way or the other.